What up, y'all? I'm back with another review, and I'm here to review this new album, the fourth studio album from Kendrick Lamar, entitled Damn. And when I saw Damn, the album cover, I was like, Kendrick looks a little out of place. It kind of looks like, he's kind of not screwed up in the head, but he's just like, damn. And the person looking at him would just look at him and be like, damn. And just saying that word over and over again reminds me of, because I'm a WWE fan, reminds me of Ron Simmons, or Miss Farouk from the Nation of Domination. Uh, but yeah, Ron Simmons, and from the APA as well, with JBL and all that crowd. That's what I thought. Those are some of the things that went through my mind when I saw the title. I mean, just damn. And listening to this album, all I can say is damn. I mean, it's a damn out of 10. When I first heard it, I was thinking I like it 7.5 out of 10. But after that second full listen, I got it, and then I kept listening to it, and kept listening to it, and I've gathered all my thoughts. I've um, read notes. Well, not notes. I went on Genius and saw if there were things that I missed, and there were a few things that I missed. I went back to listen to, and some things that I did have written down from my own notes. I got to expand a little deeper on because I went on Genius to see uh, their perspective on it and what the contributors had to say, and I was like, we kind of get the same vibe. We pick up on the same things from this album, but I expanded a little more when I saw other perspectives. I haven't seen any reviews yet. There are like three or four of this album as far as a review, and there will be a fifth one when Dead and Hip Hop releases theirs that I want to check out. But until then, I'm here with my review. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Uh, Track number one, Blood. It's like a minute and 40 seconds long, I believe, and it's a great way to start off the album. It's one of my favorites on here, actually. Nothing has happened as far as rapping goes. But Kendrick's telling the story of him walking down the street and seeing a blind woman who was frustrated because it seemed like she had misplaced something and she couldn't find it. And K Dot goes over, offering to help, saying, "Hello, ma'am. Can I be of any assistance? It seems that you have lost something, and I would like to help you find it." And she replies, "Oh yes, you have lost something." It comes to find out that Kendrick has lost his life with a gunshot, and that just took me by surprise. I was like, "Whoa, that is a way to start off an album." God dang, I just didn't see that coming. And Kendrick actually uses on this track and a few other tracks on this album Fox News critics, sample of those critics, um, mainly for this one of them not understanding the lyric in All Right, saying, "And we hate Popo, wanna kill us dead in the street for show." The way the dude read it, what was his name? Geraldo Rivera or something like that. I have it written down, but we'll get into that later. Track number two, DNA, which is one of my favorite tracks on here. Mike Will made it, and Kendrick's telling you about everything that he has in his DNA, from coke, war, peace, loyalty, royalty, power and poison, pain and joy, hustle and ambition, dark, evil, flow, riches, realness, everything. And with this quote right here, I just went again and again, and then went again, like when would then I serve? I was like, okay, all right. And then he spits at anybody who is like way like it was spitting like in the way saying like your hormones switch inside your DNA, and just all that sucker shit that people be having inside their DNA. He's talking to just anybody hating on him when no, I don't want to say provide doing the bullshit, and they're saying that the dad probably snitched heritage inside your DNA, and about to talk about how your backbone don't exist, born outside a jellyfish. Uh, I was like, good God. And this review is going to be a while because there's so much that I have written down for this. Um, and there was another new skit, actually. This is the quote. "This is why I say hip hop has done more damage to young African Americans than racism in recent years." And now, look, did he diss Drake here, though? I feel like I'm the only one who's seeing this. Sipping from a Grammy and walking in the building. He said more after that, but just the whole sipping from a Grammy, I was like, is that a diss to Drake? Like really, I feel like I'm the only one who is talking about that and is thinking about it. I haven't seen anybody tweet that. Um, I tweeted that I saw picked up a few Drake disses on this album. This being the main one, I was just like, am I the only one who notices that? Check number 3, yeah. Now look, I may just be trying to start shit, but is this another diss of Drake when he said, "Today is the day I follow my intuition, keep the family close, get money, fuck bitches"? Is that another shot at Drake? Just having keep the family close in there, get money, fuck bitches, which is kind of like what Drake raps about to an extent, even though he raps about a lot of shit, but keeps reiterating that shit. But is that another shot at Drake? Am I the only one picking this up, or am I just trying to start shit? And he calls it Gerardo Rivera. He calls out Gerardo Rivera from Fox News, um, and talking about how I'm an Israelite. Don't call me black no more. That's just a color. And it's explaining the song title. I guess uh, Yahweh or Yahweh. Is that explaining the song title with Yah? Is that what he's trying to say? Being a black Israelite, it's like he's really saying some stuff here. Track number 4, Element, which I only really liked and then loved. K-Dot really expresses his love for hip hop here and what it means to him, and he calls out any competition, especially those who are whack, and speaking on his struggles where he came from to where he is now. And what you see on TV isn't his real life. He's saying like, "I really think that's me, huh?" And on the last LP, I tried to lift a black artist, but it's the difference between black artists and whack artists. And I was like, shit. Claims the crown and throne. I mean, that's just what he's doing right here. He's claiming the crown and throne, but it wasn't his to begin with. I've been saying Kendrick's the best rapper for 2 years now. Two and a half, maybe 3 years. I've been saying Kendrick Lamar is the best one. May not be my favorite, but he's the best one. Check number 5, Feel. Maybe my favorite track on here. It just reminds. Well, we'll get into what it reminds me of towards the end of it. Kendrick speaks on what he feels, and it's a lot of negative. Nobody praying for him. Him not even wanting to be bothered. He's impatient, losing focus. He feels like fuck the world. There's no tomorrow, and he's just like he thinks his family's faking. His thoughts are in a box, even though he's letting them out here. He feels like disappearing. He feels like friends are overrated, and how people ain't shit. It reminds me of feel like it just reminds me of it kind of feels like Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst off a Good Kid, Mad City, and a little bit of like Mortal Man off To Pimp a Butterfly, and this was produced by Soundwave. Um, so I know I was gonna like it. Soundwave, just my goodness, man. The next track, which I didn't expect to like as much as I do, it's one of my favorite tracks on here as well. Loyalty featuring Rihanna, and K-Dot and Rihanna are expressing how essential loyalty and honesty is in a relationship. And I love the beat. And Rihanna said, on her little verse, how it's so hard to be humble. And it's like people are asking that. I guess that ties in to the not the theme of the album, but the single for the album. It really makes the album, I guess, which would be one of the main reasons people buy the album if they're not Kendrick fans or not casual, everyday hip hop listeners. Maybe they'll buy the album because of Humble. It's like her saying that it just kind of tie in together. It's something to think about. The next track, Pride, which is Stephen Lacy helped produce and write this, and I found out about Stephen Lacy. I listened to the Stephen Lacy his demo, which I did in one of my album I recommend videos, and Anna Wise on background vocals. Listen to this quote: "Hell raising, wheel chasing, new worldly possessions, flesh making, spirit breathing, or spirit breaking. Which one would you lessen?" Like, oh man, damn. The next one: "I don't love people enough to put my faith in men. I put my faith in these lyrics, hoping I make amends." And there's so much from this, and his whole second verse is just the best. Like talking about not a perfect world, I probably won't be insensitive as December, but never remember what winter did. God damn it, man. I wouldn't blame you for a mistake I made or the bet I laid. Seems like I point the finger just to make a point nowadays. Smiles and cold stones, the temperature goes there. Indigenous disposition, feel like we belong here. That made me think, like, wait a minute. Smiles and cold stones, the temperature goes there. Indigenous disposition. indigenous, okay? Indigenous disposition. Feel like we belong here. It's like, I'm not even gonna go into what that made me think. I kind of think I made it obvious just how the emphasis I put on indigenous disposition. So there you go. And a sick venom in men and women overcome with pride. A perfect world is never perfect, only filled with lies. That whole track, man, just that whole track, just based off the lyrics that are so quotable, is why I love that track so much. The next track, Humble, the track to promote this album and Kendrick's biggest single, I believe. It reached #2 on the Hot Billboard, on Billboard charts. I didn't really care for it. I didn't really care for it. I didn't dislike it. I didn't necessarily care for it that much, but I can appreciate it because the chorus just seems to appeal to the modern, uh, the mumble rappers, kind of like XXX, Tentacion or whatever, Uzi, Yachty, all that. It just sounds like something that them niggas would do. But Kendrick's actually saying something for me to grasp here, and he's telling other rappers to just be humble. And it's the NBA theme song, I believe, anthem, just like I was, All to Pimp a Butterfly. So props to Kendrick again for landing that. The next track, Lust, which might be my least favorite track on here, or at least it was, until I kept listening to it after I listened to this album for like the fifth time. I went back to this track. I was like, I have to find out what I don't like, or um, I have to like this damn album. I mean, this song because Bad Bad Not Good produced it. So I'm just like, I have to like this. And Kendrick is talking about being high off the lifestyle of being a rapper and kind of rapping to a high school girl or a young mother. It seems like just when she says, talking about, call you up your nigga, well, your baby daddy telling you ain't shit, flex on the bitches that hating on you on Instagram. I was like, yeah, that just sounds like something that they would do. And just talking about listening up with fame, self, and hidden city after city making an M. And that part right there coming in was off the second verse. I will go into that track even deeper later because I went back and had more notes about Lust that I didn't put here because I filled the damn paper up. The next track, Love, featuring Zachary, or Zachary. I'm gonna go with Zachary though. He's just asking questions to his woman, like just to see how legit the love is. If I didn't ride blade on curb, would you still love me? If I made up my mind to work, would you still love me? Keep it 100. I'd rather you trust me than love me. I was like, songs like this, damn, Kendrick can do this, and I don't mind him doing that. Like, kind of reminds me of Poetic Justice. Now that I just keep hearing that, love me, I'm just like, yeah, that sounds like Poetic Justice. Um, so that was good to hear. One of my favorite tracks on here just because of that. Like Loyalty, I was like, I didn't think I'd like him that much, but I do. Kendrick's just one of those dudes who can rap about this shit. The next track, one of my favorite tracks on here as well, with U2, XXX featuring U2, K Dots. I wrote so much for this. K Dot at first speaks on his street cred, then his boy calls him. This is such a story. His boy calls him because his son was shot and killed. And he looks to K Dot for advice since K Dot seems to be the answer, or at least have the answers. And K Dot told him like, well, the guy came to him looking for spiritual guidance as well, but K Dot just comes at him, letting him know like, hey, if it happened to me, it's fucked the world. And he cuts the convo quick because he has to speak at a convention speaking on gun control. That is that's so funny. Like he said, if it was me, uh, I'd pull it. But now he has to go speak at a convention, and at this convention he starts speaking on gun control amongst other things. It's like I can imagine. I just seen that in my head. Oh yeah. Put a gun on him. Now I gotta go talk at this convention about gun control. That just sounds so funny. Uh, Hail Mary, Jesus, and Joseph, the great American flag is wrapped and dragged with explosives. What is this one that I wrote right here? Oh yeah, myself on every street, corporate offices, banks, employees, and bosses, all with homicidal thoughts. Donald Trump's office, and he speaks on the misconceptions, I guess. Speaking on Barack and the misconceptions of the U.S. and how America views blacks, like this quote right here: "Pass the gin, mix it with American blood, then bash them. You crippin' or you married to blood." God damn it, man, Kendrick. The next track, which I gave a star and a check mark. Because at first it was just a check mark, then I put a star beside it, and I have so many tracks with stars beside it. But the ones that I really mess with are stars with circles around them as well. Fear. Did he get a Kendrick got a call from his cousin Carl here, and he explains to him that he knows K Dot doesn't think anybody's praying for him, which ties into what he was feeling like earlier on track five. Feel it was track five, I believe. Um, and he quotes the Bible showing K Dot that the blacks are cursed, and until he gets the memo, he'll always feel like there's a chip on his shoulder. And the reverse outro, Genius did this. They found out what he said. Every stone thrown at you, rest in my feet. Why God, do I gotta suffer? And Earth is no more. Why don't you burn this motherfucker? I was like, man, Kendrick. And on the first verse, he raps as a man, well, no, as a mom talking to her 7-year-old K Dot, telling him to behave. And then the next, he's at 17. Decade and another decade. He raps as a 17-year-old speaking on how he'll die as a teen in Compton. Then on track number 27, you got 27, the next track. And the next decade later, you get 27-year-old Kendrick speaking on his fears of losing what he's built for himself. And as far as present K Dot goes, he just talks about losing what makes him him, his creativity, loyalty, humbleness, having no love, and wondering if he lives through his fear on rap. And then Carl comes back saying, speaks on people, black people being the children of Israel, and according to the Bible, rebelling against God is the reason why minorities are oppressed in the first place. And the next track, track number 13, one of my favorite tracks on here, God, and the beat is just something to ride, reminisce, and bass to, and that's exactly what Kendrick's doing here. On the first verse, he's talking about shooting up to the top of the charts, winning, and coming from his activities in Compton to now having a valid peak from his house that he's at now. He's just flexing. Talking about the way he feels, that's just what God feels like. And then he raps from like a humbled perspective, saying that everything he does is divine, which that's not too humble, but when he says that everything he does is for the people, it's like, yeah, that's more of a humble perspective. But to say everything he does is fine, everything he touches is gold, it's like Kendrick really feeling himself on this album. He's just like, just saying, look, I'm better than all y'all. You can't touch me. You just can't. And the last track on here, Duckworth. Man, I gotta write some stuff for this because there's so much that happened. Starting off the song with this soulful bridge talking about I always thought it was me versus the world until I found out it was me versus me. And just speaking on how this dude named Anthony came from hard times, right? Follow this story. Dude named Anthony came from hard times. He's going through hard times. Started to sell dope, and it was going well. So he made his first meal at 20 years old and had some kids. He caught a murder case because his cousins were killed by, I believe, by his shooters, and I believe it's his shooters. And he beat the case, went back to work, and after a while, he went to this KFC. And at the KFC, it was this dude named Ducky, who was from the streets and as well, and Top Dog planned to rob the KFC, and Ducky knew he knew about he knew about Anthony, and how they robbed the store. Well, they robbed KFC last year. They robbed the manager actually and shot the customer. So Ducky tried to appeal to Anthony and his boys, give him free food every time they came by. Anthony liked that and didn't kill him. And that decision right there made everything possible for K-Dot to be where he is today. Because if Anthony, who is happened to be Top Dog, killed Ducky, who happened to be Kendrick's dad, Kendrick being Duckworth, if Top Dog would have killed Ducky, Top Dog would be serving life, and Kendrick would grow up without a father, and he'd end up dying in a gunfight. And in that track, with the whole, so I was taking a walk down the street the other day, and I was like, wow, all these songs fit together, all these verses actually help. Even Rihanna, these things they tie together. It's like very well put together album, concept, theme, I guess, and just these stories make you go, damn. Even now I realize that after hearing the first track, Blood, That's how I felt. Like, damn, after hearing that story, and it's like, man, and I have to say, damn, because this review was over 20 minutes. I thought it was gonna be like 15, 16 minutes, but nah, it's over 20. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. When I first heard it, like I said, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Oh, forgot, I have just a few more notes. Um, Kendrick also said, "Whoever thought the greatest rapper would come from coincidence? That is a coincidence that happened. How he got here because Top Dog didn't kill his dad." And the notes I had on Lust were, I got it after more listens, especially the second verse. Um, just living the fast life Kendrick was talking about, and waking up, getting calls, being late, breaking his promises to himself, money and materials, and material possessions of what life seemed to revolve around. You sleep, do it all again, and you wake up to the Trump election, hoping that shit ain't even real, and it's just like, my goodness. And here are these lyrics right here. All of us worried, all of us buried, our feelings deep, none of us married to his proposal, make us feel cheap. Still and sad, distraught and mad, telling everybody about it, but they agree. Parade the streets with your voice proudly. Time passed and things change. Reverting back to our daily program, stuck in our ways. Lust. Like, damn, Kendrick, man. But like I said, when I first heard this album, I was thinking 7.5 out of 10. I can't do that to this album. I just can't. I have to give this album a 9 out of 10, a solid 9. 9.5, my goodness, I want to, but man, and I see that the average Metacritic score for this is a 99 out of 100, and that's something, because the last one was 96, and Good Kid Mad City was a 91. I think Untitled Unmasked was an 86, and I'm not sure what the Metacritic score for Section 80 was, or Overly Dedicated, but Kendrick just has one of the best discographies in hip hop history. It's without question. You can't question that. I mean, just the demo track being 86 out of 100, being better than full albums by some of these top artists. It's like, really, Kendrick's the best in the game without question. People have to start looking at him as one of the greatest MCs of all time. One of the best discographies. Like I said, I mean, I give this a 9 out of 10. I mean, this album's great. It might be my favorite album this year. Either this or The Iceberg by Odyssey, which I recommend you check out, by the way. If you like that, you like this, you'll love The Iceberg too. But 9 out of 10. And let me know what you think about this review. But and well, more so, let me know what you think about this album in the comment section below. But more so about my review as well. And if you agree with me, disagree, you like it, you dislike this album, let me know. Be sure to hit the like button, share the video, subscribe if you're new, get me on Twitter, Facebook, AudioMac, SoundCloud, Instagram, and hit up my email for business. And what I mean by hit up my email for business is if you need your music chopped or screwed, reviewed, if you need beats made, you want to be featured on one of my upcoming DJ mixtapes, or you have just any inquiries you just might have, DynamicJAB@gmail.com is the email. Uh, Stream this album, buy this album. I will be buying the hard copy of this. Um, I will be buying the hard copy of this. Like I said, 9 out of 10, solid album. One of my favorites, or maybe my favorite to drop this year. But that's what I have to say about this album. Like I said, let me know in the comment section what you think about it in my review. Until then, which will be later on today, because I have at least 1, 2, maybe 3 more videos coming out today. I'll see you next time.